and welcome to Sensational South. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. We are coming to you from Davangere, the land known for its penne dosas. And our top story also comes from Karnataka. After pitting BJP ideologue V.D. Savarkar against Tipu Sultan, the BJP has started a campaign on who killed the 18th century ruler. But the bid to woo Vocaliga votes seems to have backfired. What next for the BJP? We'll debate that, but first the report.
ಇವತ್ತು ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಕೆಲಸಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಈ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಬಹಳ ಗೊಂದಲಗಳನ್ನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿಯಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂಬ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಂತು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿಯಾಗಿದೆ.
That's a stern warning from the Vocaliga seer Nirmalananda Swamiji of the Adi Chunchungiri Mutt. The trigger is the Uri-Gowda and Nanje Gowda controversy, with multiple BJP leaders claiming that the two Vocaliga chieftains killed Tipu Sultan. The party was hoping to gain electorally in the old Mysuru region with the campaign, but now the uncharacteristic warning from the Vocaliga seer has forced the BJP to go back to the drawing board. Many have objected to the BJP's campaign, claiming it's not backed by facts and could pit Vocaligas against Muslims. Recently, actor Chetan Ahimsa was arrested by the Bengaluru police for a tweet in which he said that Uri-Gowda and Nanje Gowda being called the killers of Tipu is a lie and that Hindutva is built on lies. Now Kantara actor Kishore too has jumped into the controversy, warning that Vocaligas could be called traitors someday for siding with the British if this campaign goes forward. Historians and academics have also debunked the BJP's claims, arguing that Tipu Sultan's death at the hands of the British is well documented.
Tipu being killed by the British is among the most well-documented facts in Indian history. British sources that have accounted for it, it's got Mysore sources, it's got French sources. It's probably among the most well-established facts of Indian history. Now, if the BJP manages to completely throw that out of the window and create a completely new set of facts, it is a cause for great concern for all Indian academics.
On the back foot, the BJP is now contemplating not carrying forward this campaign.
ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಮೊನ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಉರಿಗೌಡ ಮತ್ತು ನಂಜೇಗೌಡರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಅವರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು.
The opposition too has tried to cash in on the controversy with Karnataka Congress chief and the party's Vocaliga face, D.K. Shivakumar, threatening to launch an agitation on behalf of the community.
ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಹೋರಾಟದ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ವಹಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಪಕ್ಷದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷನ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸೈಡ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನೇ ಈ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
After this controversy, the BJP will have to rework its strategy to gain Vocaliga votes in the old Mysuru region.
Well, a stern warning from the Swamiji has rattled the BJP leadership. They now want to do more research. How will this pan out? We'll take this to our eminent panel. Joining us today, we have Lavanya Balal of the Congress Party. We have Mr. Mohan Vishwa of the BJP and Professor Chandan Gowda from the Institute for Socio-Economic Change. Professor Gowda, I'll come to you first. You've done a lot of research about caste. You're also an academician. How do you see this, especially when many within the field of research are saying that the death of Tipu is very well documented, there's nothing to dispute?
No, I agree with the previous academic who was very categorical in saying that the mass of material that we have until now, please remember Tipu's death is not an ordinary death. As far as the British were concerned, he was the biggest obstacle for their expansion plans in India, and it was a big deal for them to tell everyone back home in England also that they've managed to vanquish their strongest enemy. So we've never heard of these two characters until then. And even in the right-wing histories of Tipu Sultan, which have been very admiring of him actually until the 80s, they don't mention these characters. So this appears first in the play last year, but of course now they have shown us evidence of some folklorist essay from 2006, where he simply mentions the names of them as rebels, but not as those who have killed them. So these are all crucial things to bear in mind. In any case, the long and short of it is, it's what we're watching in front of us unfold is an attempt at trying to give the status of fact, and this is being done not with any interest in advancing a better scholarship, but in terms of getting a foothold in the bastion of Vokkaliga mainland, heartland, sorry, where no other issue seems to click to the voters. So they pick a local story, as it were, to get into the minds of potential voters, and it has indeed backfired. But I can also imagine the electorate feeling a little insulted by an attempt at a brazen attempt at trying to push a falsehood as a lie. And like someone else said, it also makes them seem like they were siding with the British in that war against Tipu Sultan. There are all kinds of unacceptable, indefensible fallouts of these things. Most of all, the truth is something that must still matter for everyone concerned. So this is fake news being elevated to the level of a larger attempt at rewriting this entire history with just electoral gains in mind.
Mr. Mohan Vishwa, I'll come to you. Many are calling it fake news, including the images that are being used. On the other hand, there is a question. Today, the BJP says more research is required for this. Then many are saying if more research is required, why did the BJP rake it up in the first place? The reference to Suvarna Mandya by Javre Gowda, many are saying it's not a research book per se. It was more of a book that's written about Mandya. There wasn't significant research going into it. How does the BJP now take this forward?
See, Harish, first of all, we do respect Swamiji, Sri Nirmalananda Sri, because he's ultimate for all Vokkaligas. That's the first point. Like as I said, there's no much comment needed on this. But he again said that, the research should be done. If at all, if there are evidences, we should submit to the MUT. And, there are carbon dating technology, everything available. He will take it to the next level. That's what he said. So basis that, we are working on that. See, I just want to say one thing. See, Congress initially or JDS initially or other historians initially, they used to say that, there was no character name called Uri-Nanje Gowda. Okay, it was fictional character. Okay, then what happened when this book 2006 written by De Javre Gowda, who is also a Vokkaliga from Mandya, that was the 50th anniversary of Mandya district celebration. There the names were mentioned. Now Congress is still after mentioning this name. They want to say is it fictional names? I don't think so. And if you go to 1940s and 50s, there is something called as Lavani's, which is similar to folk songs in old Mysore region. In those Lavani also, this Gowda was being mentioned categorically, where they killed and they saved the Mysore dynasty. Harish, I want to recall one more thing. Just go back to the research done in the case of Ram Mandir or Babri Masjid. What happened initially? Initially, people never used to believe that when we said that the Ram Mandir was there instead of Babri Masjid. Suppose that what happened when the matter went to the court, then the research happened, then the archaeological department conducted their own survey, their own research. Then what happened finally? They submitted the evidence and we found that there was a Ram Mandir. The judgment is also in favor of it.
Mohan Vishwa, did the BJP jump the gun? Okay. Should they first ensure there's enough research on this?
No. I'm telling you, see, we started the discussion. Now enough research should happen. That is what even Swamiji also said. Let the research happen. He never said that research should not happen. Now one by one will start. Now I want to tell one more thing. Now Congress and other people, who are telling that we are protecting Vokkaliga community was siding as a British. No, it's wrong. Remember what happened during those days. In the Tipu Sultan days, because Tipu Sultan, the Maharani of Mysore, she was under house arrest under Tipu Sultan's regime. After his killing, she got released. So, does it mean to say that, Congress is not supporting Uri-Nanje Gowda or by, where he saved the Maharani from Tipu Sultan? What does Congress say now? They should stand either with Maharaja or the warrior family of dynasty or with the Tipu Sultan. That they have to make it very clear now. Okay, this is what the point I'm going to put in now.
Okay, I'll take it to Lavanya Balal. Lavanya Balal, the BJP says there's indication that these two characters existed. Now there needs to be perhaps more research on whether they played a role in the killing of Tipu or not. And they're also saying the Congress should come out saying that whose side are they on?
Good afternoon, Harish. See, there are two academicians who just spoke and they make very valid points. And when they say we need to do more research, we totally agree. There needs to be more research. Having said that, Harish, I would like to say, historical figures who are not around for the past 250 years have no business being the star campaigners of an election in the 21st century. In the 21st century, this election campaign should be about what has happened in the last 24 months and what is going to happen in the next 5 years in Karnataka state and how it will impact policy making. That should be what that should be the point of discussion for political parties in Karnataka and not some historical figures who are not around to give an explanation and who have been dead for the past 250 years. And also, Nirmalanandanatha Swamiji, His Holiness of Adi Chinchanagiri, clearly has said, keep away from this narrative. Do not, go into this narrative unless you find historical references, historical evidence of these people existing. Now, when the BJP says, oh, Congress is coming up with this, they seem to forget the historians, the academicians, the researchers are the ones who are questioning it. And everybody across different party lines, there are leaders who belong to the Vokalika community.
Congress
who
make a mistake
are
by
making
engaging with the BJP on this?
no, we should never have engaged, irrespective of whichever party. People should never engage in such kind of discussions. I mean, we should not. I agree with you, Harish. We should not even have engaged in this discussion. First of all, because as political parties, I think we should stick to being political parties and not trying to be historians. And I think that is the job for academicians, and they will do that. And BJP bringing up this narrative at this point of time, trying to make a movie. Dr. Sudhakar, their own minister, said he's not aware of a Uri-Nanje Gowda, but he only knows a Deve Gowda. So I think that answers quite a few questions that the BJP is throwing at us. And also, when the BJP talks about, making a movie and stuff, Muniratna has now refused to make a movie. And when they talk about these two brothers who have supposedly killed Tipu, the question arises, are they trying to portray the Vokalika community leaders as anti-Tipu Sultan who were pro-British? Because Tipu Sultan historically has fought the external forces in India. At that point of time, there was no
We need to
concept of India
discuss about
to
the role of the community and how they will respond. Who better than Professor Gowda? Professor Gowda, this stern message from the Swamiji, how do you view it? Because we haven't seen too many Swamijis, one being vocal, especially on a political issue. How do you view these comments? One. Second, how will the community view this now?
Thank you, Harish. I think the Swamiji's remarks are exemplary. He's speaking like a responsible intellectual. Actually, he's saying, look, if you're making a historical claim, you ought to have supporting evidence for it. And like this other person on the panel was saying, we'll now do it. The thing to do is first do the research and then bring out the fact. You don't throw out something and then say, when everyone starts criticizing you, well, we'll wait, we'll do the research now. I mean, that's not how it's done. Secondly, how the community views it is unclear, but we need to do a ground check on that. But from what I could tell, I think a lot of them feel insulted that they're being taken for granted as gullible people that who could be fed a lie and expected to go along with it. This is some of the response that I've heard. But very quickly, Harish, you asked whether Tipu or the Wadayars. I don't think we should put the choice that way. Hyder Ali and Tipu ruled Mysore for 4 decades and did a lot of fabulous things as far as the local population is concerned. I mean, the local cattle that everyone needed to farm their land was especially bred by Tipu Sultan, and we know that. And the Wadayars come, of course. Again, the British come for 50 years, and the Wadayars are given back to rule. It's a very complex history. I don't think we should see the Wadayars as legitimate and Tipu as illegitimate. On the contrary, the Wadayars always saw Tipu as legitimate.
I want to give a quick word to Mohan Vishwa before I wrap up this debate. Mohan Vishwa, now the question is, why is BJP making this an election issue? There are several pressing issues, like the Human Development Index talks about Haveri, the Home Minister's home district, the Chief Minister's home district, as one of the lowest ranked. Why is the BJP not talking about it? One. Second, does the BJP believe that these issues will get them vote, especially in the Vokalika heartland?
See, Harish, I just can't understand. This is not a election issue. The discussion is happening from past 4 to 5 years. And my Congress spokesperson said that what has happened from past 250 days, if she would have been reading a newspaper, she would have known what kind of development we're doing and PM is visiting from past 250 days, what and all he has inaugurated, starting from, Vande Bharat Express, or, Kashi Ganga Express, or IIT Dharwad, or Bangalore Mysore Expressway, or rather Brain Cell Institute in IISc, and today the metro line in between, Kerpuram and Whitefield, and also 400-bed medical hospital in Chikkaballapur. Come on, it's happening. The development is happening. People are witnessing it. She has to accept it. But she has not yet answered my question. Now, the same Uri-Nanje and Nanje Gowda who killed Tipu Sultan, because of that, they helped Mysore dynasty. Now, is the Congress with Mysore dynasty or Tipu Sultan? That they have to answer. Still, she has not yet answered. And regarding the other side of the history of the Tipu, why historians are not speaking? Why others are not speaking? Why only his goodness are talking over here from past 50, 60 years? What about his mass conversion of Kodavas? What about his ritual killings? And what about his Persia Urdu imposition? Even today, if you go to places like Matti, Situmati,
unfortunately,
and Dubai and all,
absolutely
the
out
language
of time. Thank you, Lavanya Balal. Thank you, Professor Gowda and Mr. Mohan Vishwa. One thing is very sure. The BJP, although doesn't want to take this as a party campaign, it is likely to allow this issue to be further debated on social media. While the debate on Nanje Gowda and Uri Gowda continues, the Prime Minister is here in Davangere for the culmination of the Vijay Sankalp Yatra, and he's received a tremendous response. Here's a report. Well, the concluding ceremony of the Vijay Sankalp Yatra here in Davangere saw massive crowds, and already war of words have started. The BJP saying that anywhere around 10 lakh people have gathered for this particular program. Siddaramaiah saying, well, there were 15 lakh people who gathered for his birthday bash here in Davangere, and none of them were paid crowds. Well, the larger question is, irrespective of how many people turned up for both these events, the question is how much of it will turn into votes and seats for both these parties. We'll slip into a short break now. On the other side, we'll get you more stories from South India.